What you are looking at is one of the few pieces of a historical monument that is in existence in the Darjeeling and Kalimpong region. This is the Damsang Fort, also known as Damsang Gadi, which is believed to have been built by the last Lepcha King, King Pano Gyabo Achuk, in the 17th century, and it is one of the rare physical evidence of history relating to a local kingdom in this region. The Damsang Fort is located in the southern side of the little town of Pedong, which falls under the district of Kalimpong. It is strategically located along a ridge which gives it a vantage point in all directions of the would-have-been kingdom. Damsang is about 23 kilometers from the town of Kalimpong. Depending on which side you may be coming from, you will have to cross either Pedong or Algara. For me, the starting point or the landmark is the Silk Route retreat at Pedong. You are to take this road straight upwards towards Algara. On the way, you will come across this junction. Here, you are to take the right side. The left side goes towards Lava. Just about a little less than a kilometer, you will come across this little Kacha road that is leading you towards the forest. This is the route that you take for Damsang. After about a while, you will reach this junction, marked by the first signposts. If you are on a four-wheeler, this is where you stop and park your vehicle and walk from here. It is about a 15 minutes walk. So you'll reach this point, and if you can see on the left there is a small pathway that is going. There's a board, and there is the right over here. The right one is the one that is to be taken for the Damsang Fort. The left one, if you follow this route, you can go to Silarigaon. So that little board that you see in the front, which says "Do not litter," can you see? This little board becomes the landmark. This little board becomes the landmark for the left and the right. Take the right for Damsang. Let's go. When you reach this point, you are to take the left. For most motorcyclists, this is where you stop. The route from here on is extremely narrow and has a few difficult spots. From here, the fort is only about 5 minutes walk. This particular thing that you come across, this is supposed to be made for the horses to drink water, and so as you can see, it has been carved into the rock. During the rainy season, the water comes from somewhere up there and it flows right into here, and then this was supposed to be drinking water for the horses. So we are here. When you reach Damsang, it may not look like much, but with a keen eye, you will notice that most of it is actually under your feet or under forest foliage. It is a little spread out, and you will have to walk to explore most of it. Although it says here, the West Bengal Heritage Commission declared it a heritage site in 2018 under the West Bengal Heritage Commission Act 2001, nothing much has been done to restore, revive or resuscitate this age-old monumental structure of immense local historical significance. Most of the fort still lies covered deep in the forest foliage, and you would not even realize that you are actually walking on parts of the fort. Like for instance, I'm actually walking on parts of the fort right now, and if I lower my camera below from where I am standing, you will be able to see the parts of the wall of the fort, which otherwise may not even be visible when simply walking through it. The entire fort is built along a ridgeline, giving it a complete vantage point with views on all that it may have ruled over. Every year in the month of December, the birth anniversary of the late Lepcha King is celebrated here by the Lepcha community. Members of the Lepcha community come here to Damsang and offer prayers to the late king, and celebrations are held with much fanfare in the designated place for that year. After the last Lepcha king, this fort came under the hands of the Bhutanese. And after the Anglo-Bhutanese War of 1864, this region came under the British. There is a story about this stupa as to how it was hit by a cannonball fired by the British. They supposedly fired from the Tinchule hillside for this attack. I do not know how much of this is true, but there are many stories about Damsang, stories that have been handed down from generations to generations. For now, most of it is only in story format. No real effort has been made to authenticate and substantiate the multiple stories that may help reconstruct the history of Damsang. And there has been no effort to even excavate or restore the same, even at a local level. One of the things that you will notice are probably these cemented platforms. These are not a part of the fort, but was built in recent years with an effort on tourism at this place. You can also reach Damsang from the Tsillari Gaon side from this route. This is actually a much more gradual climb, but a little longer of a walk. But if you enjoy forest hiking, either of the said routes are fantastic and can be covered entirely by walking, taking into account your fitness level. There is also a much more vertical hiking route from 20th mile. Avoid visiting the place during the monsoon months from June to September, as during this period the entire route will be infested with leeches. If you have reached till here with this video, thank you very much for watching, and do let us know what you think in the comments. Also do share it if you liked it. This video was brought to you by the Silk Route Retreat from Pedong. If you do come this side, do give us a visit. This is our first effort in telling some of our local stories, and we sincerely hope to bring in many more such stories. Thank you once again.